Abby, Rachel, my nieces, who I just don't get to see enough of, but I hear about everything you do, and through the wonders of social media, on Facebook and everything else, we get to see what each other is up to on a daily basis. Well, you guys have really hit the mark. You've done so well for yourselves, and you've made us all so proud. Really amazing. You've gone to an amazing high school. You made the most of it. You didn't waste your time. And you're off to bigger and better things. This crisis that we've been going through, it's not your fault. And unfortunately, the people that are responsible for running this country have let us all down. And, here we are. And you got kind of gypped. But those feelings will soon disappear when you get on to college. And your first year is exciting. I think you'll notice, the light has changed. The way the light comes into your eyes as you get older changes. And where you're at, things will get brighter. And the light will definitely change for you, and you'll notice it. So when you get off, here's a few words of advice. If you drink too much, drink a very full glass of water or two, if you can, before you go to bed. You'll feel a lot better the next morning. Second piece of advice. Don't drink too much, even though you probably will. You'll learn the hard way. We all do. Don't smoke too much reefer. I mean, weed's okay. It's pretty good, in my opinion. And you'll have access to it. It'll be all around you. But if you smoke too much of it, like anything else, it ain't good for you. It'll kind of kill your motivation. And it's pretty potent these days, so be real careful with that stuff. Stay away from all the other stuff. Just do. Guys, you're both real pretty. Guys are going to like you. They're going to be interested in you. They're primarily going to be interested in only one thing, and you know that. So be wise about it, and admit to yourself what it is that you desire as well. Because once guys figure out that you have desires as well, it only gets easier for them. And it usually takes them till they're about 30 or 40 to figure that one out. So don't worry, you got time. Be careful out there. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't put yourself in jeopardy unnecessarily. That means being caught, especially at night, alone, and in an unfamiliar place. So be cautious. Use your head. Use your gut. If your gut tells you something's wrong, if the hair on the back of your neck stands up, that is your body telling you that something's wrong and you need to stop what you're doing or leave the situation. So don't ignore it. Follow it. And yet, on the other hand, be willing to experience new things. Just be cautious about how you do it. There's a lot of great experiences out there that you should take advantage of. When it comes to studying, I know the library is not, it's not what it used to be. We have computers and Google and everything else, but there is still written word found on printed pages in volumes of books hidden deep into that library at your university. And you're going to need to go look at some of that stuff. That's research. Don't ever use Wikipedia in footnotes. If your professor's worth the money that they get paid, they'll give you an F on any paper that includes Wikipedia as a referenced footnote. Wikipedia is not an authoritative source. Most of what you'll see in Wikipedia is actually true, but the problem is that Wikipedia can be altered and edited by people who are not experts. Therefore, it is not an authoritative source. Learn your style manuals real well. Pay attention to the syllabus. Go to class. If you don't go to class, you'll have a hard time getting anything more than a C, and you probably won't pass the class. For every hour that you spend in class, you probably have about 2 hours of study time. So, spend that time in the library, somewhere quiet. Do your work. College is a lot of fun. You're going to have a blast, but it is a job. You are a full-time professional researcher, and you're in training. So, you're spending a lot of money to get training. Use every penny of it. Sororities. Hey, if that's important to you, and that kind of camaraderie and fellowship is good, and you enjoy it, and by all means, rush the sororities, join. But be your own person. Don't be a follower. Beware of groupthink. Stick to what you know is right and wrong. I would say have a good relationship with your professors. Sit in the front row or towards the front of the class. Don't hide. Stay off your phone during lectures. It's disrespectful to the professor, and you're not going to be listening to what they have to say if you're on your phone. Learn to take good notes. If you're sick or some reason you can't make it to class, get the notes from a friend. These days, they probably have the class videotaped. You might be able to watch it. I'm sure there's all kinds of options available to y'all today that were not available to me. Next, I would say you've chosen a major path of study. It might seem good now, and maybe it'll stay good. But if for any reason you decide that that is not what interests you, and something else really gets you charged up, and you can see years down the road where another path of study is going to be more interesting to you, and more helpful to you, and you want to do something different than what you thought you wanted to do when you started, don't be afraid to change. I went into college thinking I was going to be a physics major, and that was one of the stupidest things I've ever done. I I had a triple major at Northern Illinois University of drugs, women, and fucking off. I wound up flunking out of Northern Illinois University my first year. But I had a class in American foreign policy, and it was taught by a very interesting professor who is now still probably the chairman of the political science department at Lake Forest College. His name is James Brask. And right then and there, I decided that that is what interested me, was international relations, foreign policy, political science. And that set me on my path so that when I started back in college at William Rainey Harper College, because, well, I had flunked out of Northern, that's the path I chose. And, well, it served me well and still serves me well today. I know I'm a general contractor and a builder, but I work in a very highly regulated industry, and I deal with government every single day. And I deal with people from all over the world, and my education allows me to walk very confidently in any of those circles and converse with anybody about any number of topics and hold my own and get them to understand that, I'm not stupid and they're dealing with an intelligent person. And it keeps people from wanting to take advantage of you. Confidence. You've got to stay confident in yourself. But failure is part of that. So if you fail, then you failed. Get back in the game. Get yourself back up. It doesn't matter how you get knocked down. It matters that you get back up. And don't get knocked down the same way twice. Learn your lessons. Carry on. Get outside. Enjoy the great outdoors. If you have a chance to travel and you get to go to some beautiful places in Ohio or Missouri, Missouri has a lot of beauty in it, and so does Ohio. Be comfortable in the outdoors. And if you have a chance when you're away at Ohio State or Mizzou, take some credit hours for if you have like physical education requirements or whatever. If those credit hours are available in outdoor activity, particularly things like backpacking or kayaking or something like that, take those classes. Go on those field trips. Learn something about land navigation and the use of a map and a compass, because you might not always have your phone. Learn some outdoor survival skills. You may need them. You may be traveling somewhere and driving somewhere and you're in the absolute middle of nowhere and you have a breakdown. Well, you got to learn how to deal with that. So, confidence, get in the outdoors, get yourself back up if you fall down. Understand that failure is part of the process, and have a good time. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. You'll be out from under your mother's thumb. Finally. Cut those apron strings. Don't worry about mom and dad. My sister and my brother-in-law, your mom and dad are great people. Great people. They have done great things for you both. But they're not going to live your life for you. You've got to do it. And they're going to be there to back you up, but try not to use it. Only if you need to. But you'll do fine. You'll do well. You've done well. And we're very, 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 very proud of you. I know I am. And I know my daughter Kelly is. And I know my mom and my dad are. And we have a lot of hope for you. You have to carry the flag. Hey, we're still carrying the flag. But someday, you're going to get the flag. And you're going to have to carry it. And then pass it on. So, go forth. Be well. I love you both. Peace out.